Welcome back, everybody. So today we're gonna go over a rather strange subject. Namely, this is called bit squatting. So whenever you type in a domain like www dot, for example, ermingreponent.com, you see, when you make this query, there is a chance that you won't actually go here because one of the bits in the domain can be flipped because this domain in binary looks something like this. I don't know, doesn't matter, in sets of 8. So actually let me just make 1 8. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and so on and so forth. So each one of these characters is represented in binary in this fashion. And when you type in your domain, there is a chance that one of these bits will be flipped, that a 0 will become 1. I am not kidding you, this is a real thing. I mean, it stands to reason because all the DNS servers and your own machines, they all depend on a system which was designed by us. And since we are imperfect, it stands to reason that the system we have designed will also be imperfect. So there's nothing that can be done about this. There's always a chance that one of the bits can become either 1 or 0. So 0 can become 1 and 1 can become a 0, which leaves us with a vector of an attack. Meaning that if you, for example, own the domain, let's put it like this. Let's put I like this here. There is a chance that one of the bits will be flipped here, and that this last character will become I. Therefore, whoever types in that domain, or just requests that domain, they don't need to type it by hand, will be redirected to this. So there was a lot of research that was done, and I forgot which sites have I looked to for research. I really did, but there were two really good ones. But it doesn't matter. I didn't take any code from there or anything like that, but they had their own statistics which were being published there, and then the statistics were rather frightening. So I think it was on 10 billion requests that 10,000 requests were actually had suffered from bit flaws. So 10,000 people basically requested a wrong site when they were requesting, for example, if you request this domain, out of 10 billion, 10,000 will actually go somewhere else. But it doesn't matter. People don't notice this. It goes somewhere, domain's non-existent, or 404 error pops on the screen, and nothing really happens. People usually just request the domain again or try to reload the site, and then it's fine. But suppose the 404 error doesn't happen. Suppose nothing happens. Suppose you just basically own the domain, and somebody comes there, and this looks like your domain with a fake bit here, with a wrong char, looks exactly the same as the original site. Nothing will be noticed. So somebody tries to log in, they type in their username and password, and voila, there you go. So this is not a directed attack. This is a passive attack which takes a general approach. So you're not basically targeting any user in particular, you're just targeting domains. So when users try to request the domains, some of them will go to your site. Major sites have protected themselves in a way that they've bought all the domains which are by one bit different, whose bit masks were by 1 bit different from their own. So not all of these are taken. I have taken a look at which ones are still available and which ones are not on the net. And this is a real attack. You can take a look at the talk on DEF CON conference. They're free on YouTube. You can take a look at them, or you can go to the DEF CON website and check it out there. There's some really nice lectures on this matter. So let's go ahead and proceed. If you did not understand this attack to its fullest of extents, please feel free to send me an email or something like that. I will be more than happy to provide additional explanation. Anyway, I don't know, you don't need to pop me an email. You can send me a message wherever. As long as I get it, I'll try to answer. Anyway, the first thing that we will need to do is write ourselves a piece of code which is going to check for domain availability. So it's going to take the bit mask of the domain. It's going to take a domain like admin.com, and it's going to get the bit mask of the domain. And once it gets the bit mask of the domain, it will generate all the bit masks which are by one different. Then it will convert them back to text, and it will query the servers to see if the domain is available or not. Now, this can be done rather simply in Python. You can do it even simpler fashion in Bash. It's not a big deal. It's real easy to do. I have decided to do it in Java, where it's a little bit more complex. Let me put it like that. Why? Well, I think of it as a good practice to introduce Java here as a language, and as a language in which we will be writing exploits on our own tools, because later on during the course we will learn we will most likely go into Android exploitation, and we will need to know Java for that. We will need to know how to write it. So I think of this as a bit of a good practice, as a bit of a good intro, writing this code out. There is nothing complex about it. It's just a bit long. That's it. There's just logic. There's just a lot of logic to it. And on top of that, we'll also be creating a USB, which is basically a bad USB, which acts as a keyboard. So when you plug it into a machine, it can deploy whatever, regardless of whether the machine is Windows 10 and it has auto-mount disabled. And regardless of whether antivirus is functional or not, because it appears to the machine as though this is keyboard input. So we will be doing that as well in all likelihood. And we're going to need some C and Java for that, and I thought that this would be a good intro to start off with Java here, to introduce you to the programming language itself. So there are scripts for this online. If you want to use those, feel free. If not, you can use mine. I'll post mine on GitHub. It's not perfect, okay? There are some minor problems with it, as far as I've noticed, but nothing that's gonna hinder you in any way. So let's go ahead and begin. So first of all, you need to basically type in DNF search Eclipse, and you can just God. Okay. Come on. Let me just go ahead and do this. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I need grep-i IDE Eclipse JBoss tool. No, forget about it. Just type in DNF install Eclipse. I'm too lazy to go looking for the package now in here. It's basically Eclipse. It says Eclipse JDT. It's already installed and it's updated, so no problem. So all you need to do is type in DNF install Eclipse, and that should be it. You don't need to do anything else. Then as a non-root user, you can just type in Eclipse, or you can just start. I like starting it like this, but you can also start it from the start menu. It should be Mars at the time of me casting this. I have a bit of a unique setup here. Let me just go ahead and bring it back. Okay, so there we go. Excellent. So this is the code that I have written. It's a little bit long and unnecessarily wasteful in terms of RAM space. Don't worry, I'll go over it and I'll explain some things. Keep in mind, this is not a Java tutorial, but I wish to introduce you slowly into the code and how to set up the environment for Java and how to code, because later on, as I said, we'll be doing some things in Java for Android, and we'll be writing exploits and certain things. So you will need to learn that eventually. So better, let's just start it slow with this example and move onwards. Okay, so I have set things up here for myself. Never mind that, you're not going to have it, and you're definitely not going to have this code. But if you do want to have the code and not have to type it in, I strongly recommend that you type it in and try to understand what everything is, because I'm going to go over each line, almost each line, I guess. You can just pull it from GitHub. I'll leave the link. But here, you go ahead and basically click right click here, go into new, and you click on project, and you select Java project, and you click next, and you give a name of the project. I don't know. The name is arbitrary. Like, name yours whatever you want. My real project is named AI, and this one the name for this project that I'm just guiding you through how to make a project in Eclipse. So just type in tralala or whatever you want. The name is completely arbitrary. You don't actually need to change anything else. Just make sure that you have the same options selected as I, and then you click on next. This is all fine. You just click on, well, there is no more next. You just click on finish. This kind of project is associated with Java perspective. Yes, very much so. Thank you. Okay, so let me just go ahead and close these. It's just my code, or not the integer class, the other thing. And then you go into this folder, and then you have source. So you right click on source and you go into new, and you select package. And this is going to be the source folder. Browse, create folders. Actually, no, we don't need a package. I'm sorry. My apologies. Source, new. Package interface. I need a class. Okay, so the name here, it's going to be like have fun, and it's going to be package tralala, and the name shall be have fun. I'm sorry, I don't really have the source folder here. And this is going to be like, it's not the Java default build path. So src, there we go. So you need to type in the name of your basically project and then /src, and then give the name. My original name is actually have fun. You can change it if you want. It's completely up to you. The code will be posted on GitHub and completely open source, so I don't know. You can pull it from there, I guess. Which method stubs would you like to create? I would recommend go ahead and click on the main and deselect this one, so public static void main, because you're going to need that. And it's just going to go ahead and click on finish. Excellent. So it creates this format for you without any problems. And then from here, you will be able to create code. As you can see in my AI, if I go into the src and the default package, I can go into have fun, and my code is literally fits into that. Let me just go ahead and do this. Okay, this and this, just to minimize all the functions. Okay, so there we go. This is just the import up here, no big deal. You need to have the same things as I do, so I've just minimized things. So I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 functions in total, or 6 methods as they're referred to in Java. That's literally it. They're a bit some of them are a bit long, but no big deal there. And with this code, we're going to be able to check if a domain is available. How we're going to do that and what's going to happen inside, I will explain that as well. Okay, so there's just one more thing that we need to do. We need to plug in Apache Commons libs. We're going to do that in the follow-up tutorial, and then we can move on straight into code, and you'll see how this actually happens.